Let's play a little game today called What Do You See?
Okay.
What do you see?
Maybe like a gray wall.
Now, what do you think it is?
Oh, it's like a leg.
Now, what do you think?
Oh, it's an elephant.
Let's do it again.
Okay, this one's easy. It's like furniture. It's like a piece of furniture.
Now, what do you think it is?
Wait, no, that's not furniture. That's a turtle. That's not furniture.
It's fun to look at parts of something and guess what the whole thing is. Today's Bible story kind of does this.
It does?
It does.
Let's go back and review what's happened before today's Bible story. To summarize, it was a lot. A lot happened. Jesus and his disciples went around teaching and healing and doing amazing miracles. Jesus even fed 4,000 with 7 loaves of bread and a few fish.
No, he fed 5,000 with 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish.
Yes, in Mark 6. But in Mark 8, he fed 4,000 with 7 loaves of bread.
So he fed big crowds at least twice.
At least twice. Jesus also predicts his death and tells his disciples that he will die and rise again in 3 days.
Then maybe a week goes by and Jesus took Peter, James, and John up to a high mountain to be alone. The book of Luke says that they went to pray. Jesus gave the 3 disciples a glimpse of himself on the mountain. We are reading from Mark 9 today.
As the men watched, Jesus' appearance was transformed and his clothes became dazzling white, far whiter than any earthly bleach could ever make them.
Luke says his clothes became as bright as a flash of lightning and that his face changed. Matthew says that his face shined like the sun. Close your eyes for a minute and picture that in your head.
She said, "Close your eyes." That's better. Then Elijah and Moses appeared and began talking with Jesus.
Luke says they talked about Jesus' departure, which would be happening soon. Jesus has been telling his disciples that this is coming. Everything is being prepared for what's about to happen.
Peter exclaimed, "Rabbi, it's wonderful for us to be here. Let's make 3 shelters as memorials, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah." He said this because he really didn't know what else to say, for they were all terrified.
It's Peter who speaks out, even though he's terrified. I do have to wonder how Peter knew it was Moses and Elijah. I'm pretty sure they didn't have photographs back then.
Maybe when Moses came down the mountain with the 10 Commandments, he took a selfie and posted it to Instagram.
Yeah, maybe. The Bible doesn't say how Peter knew. However, Luke says Peter did not know what he was saying.
Then a cloud overshadowed them, and a voice from the cloud said, "This is my dearly loved son. Listen to him."
Luke says this cloud appeared and covered them. And then Peter, James, and John were afraid as they entered the cloud and they heard God's voice. Matthew says that they fell face down on the ground, terrified. I'm pretty sure that if I was on a mountain with a glowing Jesus and a cloud came down and covered me, that I would be kind of scared too. How about you?
Yeah, probably. Suddenly, when they looked around, Moses and Elijah were gone, and they saw only Jesus with them. As they went back down the mountain, he told them not to tell anyone what they had seen until the Son of Man had risen from the dead. So they kept it to themselves, but they often asked each other what he meant by rising from the dead.
Well, a lot has happened. Peter, James, and John went to pray with Jesus on a mountain. They see Jesus become brilliantly white as light, and then he talks to Moses and Elijah. A big cloud covers them, and God speaks to them and tells them to listen to his dearly loved son.
And what did Jesus tell them? He said not to share what happened until the Son of Man had risen from the dead.
Today's story is called the Transfiguration.
Transfiguration means a complete change of form or appearance.
Jesus changed. The disciples got a glimpse of Jesus that wasn't what they were used to. They were used to seeing Jesus look like a man. Suddenly, Jesus was transformed into a brilliant light, and the heroes of faith, Moses and Elijah, were there with him. This is no earthly stuff. This was Jesus revealing his heavenly side.
And the disciples responded by falling to the ground. That was a way of showing respect and reverence, like bowing before someone greater.
How can we respond when we see glimpses of God's glory? Can we think of a time when this has happened? Maybe God healed someone and the doctors had no earthly explanation for how the person was healed.
Maybe God provided for someone in an unexplained and unexpected way.
Maybe you were at a retreat and you just knew Jesus was there with you, and you decided that very moment to follow him.
The disciples responded with reverence and fear, and they also responded with obedience. They didn't share their experience with others. However, they did chat with each other about what Jesus meant by rising from the dead, even though it was kind of obvious.
We have the Bible, and we know the beginning of the story, and we know the end of the story, and we know all the chapters in between. The disciples were living the in-between part of the story. They knew that Jesus could heal. He had already brought a dead child back to life. He would soon bring their friend Lazarus back to life too. But they did not grasp the information Jesus spoke when he said that he would rise on the third day. Not yet, but soon.
Peter, James, and John got to see more of the Son of God on earth than any other people, according to the Bible. They were in the story, learning what it all meant. We have their story, and we need to study and pray to understand what it means for us.
Keep your eyes open as God reveals more and more of himself to the world. Don't miss what he's doing. One day when we are with Jesus, we will understand the big picture. Until then, let's try to learn what we can about Jesus and strive to be more like him.
Let's be like Jesus.